Aries Rising. In the beginning of the month, you have Mars and Jupiter close to your first house, so you are going to be very aggressive and direct. You're going after what you want. You're going to be very productive. This will last throughout the entire month, but you're really assertive when it comes to getting what you want and speaking your mind. In the beginning of the month, you may also be fighting for your financial independence, and there may be people who are trying to take you away from that. So there may be some fights about your financial independence and people trying to hold you back from that. From the 4th to the 5th, Mercury will turn direct, so you'll have a lot more clarification surrounding your finances, and you'll know what you have to do in order to move forward. And as the month progresses, Mercury will move out of its shadow period and you will become more aware of your finances, and you may even pick up a new stream of income, or you may figure out new ways to make money. We have Saturn in Aquarius, so you're also going to be considering who you keep around in your social circle. You may decide to make new friendships and network, but you may also discard of old friends, or you may just reconsider the friendships that you have and the social connections that you have. From the 11th to the 12th, we have Uranus conjoining Venus in your second house of finances. So you may find a new stream of income during this time. You may have money coming in. This is an amazing time for financial abundance and overall clarity about your finances. So you're becoming more clear about your finances in the beginning of the month. Progressing into the middle of the month, your head will be very clear when it comes to your finances, and you'll know what you need to do to make more money. So definitely there's some money coming your way. In the middle of the month, we have a full moon in your 9th house of foreign travel and education. So you may be finishing up your studies. You may be graduating around this time, or you're finishing up a course, or you're finishing up some tests or exams or some assignments. And you may also cancel a travel plan, or you may even develop a new travel plan. On the 22nd, Mercury will be entering Gemini, and it will be entering your 3rd house of communication. So you'll be able to express yourself. This is going to help you network and socialize. So near the middle to the end of the month, you'll find that you're really extroverted and socializing will come very easily to you. Near the middle of the month, you'll also find that sticking to a routine and creating content will come very easily to you. You'll be very productive. On the 23rd, you have Venus entering your 3rd house. So you're going to be very productive. Communication will go very well. You're going to be able to get your work done and effectively get your work done as well and balance your work-life routine. From the 28th to the 29th, we have a new moon in your 4th house. So this could lead to you relocating or moving somewhere else, moving into a new home, or you may be making the plans to do so. You may also be fixing up your living situation or your home, tidying up your home around this time. On the 29th, we have Neptune going retrograde in your 12th house. So you're rethinking your mental health. You may be thinking of new ways to cope with your mental health and look after your mental health. Leo, in the beginning of the month, we have Mars joining Jupiter in your 9th house of foreign education and travel. So you're going to be putting a large emphasis on studying or traveling. You're really going to be direct and assertive. You're really going to take action when it comes to pursuing your studies, pursuing a higher education, or when it comes to planning a trip or traveling. You're also going to have a lot more clarity about your career. You'll find that communication and technology will go very smoothly when it comes to your career. However, when it comes to your love life, you may be reconsidering a relationship. Perhaps you no longer want to be a pair, or you don't want a committed relationship anymore. You're going to be more focused on your career rather than on your love life. On the 14th, we have a full moon in your 5th house. So you may be letting go of a relationship. You may be letting go of a chapter in your love life, perhaps a chapter in your dating life, but this could very well mean a breakup given the astrology that I mentioned before. On the 22nd, we have Mercury in your 11th house. So you're going to be socializing and networking. You're going to be going out. Perhaps you're making new friends, or you may be networking for your career, but you'll find that socializing will be very fun. It'll go very well. You'll be very extroverted. On the 23rd, we have Venus joining Mercury in your 11th house. So socializing will be even more beautiful. You'll find that perhaps if there's a certain group that you want to join, that you're able to be a part of that group. But overall, you'll just find that networking and socializing is very beautiful and harmonious. On the 28th, we have a new moon in your 12th house. So this could signify a new beginning in your mental health journey, or perhaps a new beginning in your spiritual practices, perhaps in yoga or in meditation. At the end of the month, on the 28th, we have Neptune going retrograde in your 8th house of finances and investments. So you may be reconsidering your investments. You may be finding out what's realistic and what's not realistic, but overall, you'll have a lot more clarity regarding your investments and knowing what to do moving forward. Sagittarius, you have Jupiter joining Mars in your 5th house of dating, sex, relationships, and creativity. So you're going to find that you're very disciplined and you're working very hard when it comes to your creative projects, or if that's not the case, you may be actively pursuing someone in your love life. You may be aggressively going after someone in your dating life, or for some of you, you may even aggressively be trying to have kids. Also, during the beginning of the month, you may find that it's a bit difficult to uphold a certain diet or health routine that you've set up for yourself, perhaps because of work and just you being very busy. By the 6th, you'll likely be able to solve this issue that you have and start looking after yourself, start looking after your health and your diet, and upholding this health routine that you have, because we have Mercury turning direct in your 6th house. On the 14th, we have a full moon in your sign. So you're going to find that you're able to step into your power. You are transforming your self-identity. You are stepping into your power and you're becoming more confident, more attractive. You may be changing your appearance by changing your wardrobe or your makeup, for example. But overall, you are stepping into the person that you've always wanted to become, and you're letting go of an old identity. Also, the spotlight is going to be on you. You are going to be the main character since the full moon is illuminating your sign. So you're really going to stand out. You're going to be very popular around this time. After that, we have Mercury entering Gemini in your 7th house of relationships. This is really good for your love life. So you may be actively pursuing someone in your love life, or you may be improving the bond that you have with someone. But overall, communication in your love life should go very well around this time. On the 22nd, we have Venus joining Mercury in your 7th house of relationships. So the end of the month is going to be very beautiful for your love life, and you may be establishing deeper bonds. Some of you may even enter a committed relationship. From the 28th to the 29th, we have a new moon in your 8th house of investments. So you may start a new investment opportunity, and new moons are normally very positive. So this new investment journey that you embark on should turn a very large profit for you. From the 4th to the 5th, you're going to find that communication will come very easily to you. You'll be able to network and socialize with others, perhaps in the workplace or even just amongst your friends. You'll be very extroverted. During the first week of the month, you may also be establishing boundaries in the workplace, and you may be reconsidering what it is you want to do for your work. In the middle of the month, you're going to find that you're really standing up for yourself because you have Uranus conjoining Venus in your 1st house. So you're going to find that you're sticking up for yourself and you're kind of demanding what it is you want in life, and you're really going after what you want, but you're speaking up for yourself as well. In the middle of the month, we have a full moon in Sagittarius. Now for you, what that means is you're going to be letting go of some sort of financial obligation. So perhaps you're paying off a debt, you're paying off student loans, or perhaps you're pulling out your investments as well. But I see an ending in regard to your investments or any loans you may have. On the 14th, we have Mercury in your 2nd house of finances. So there may be some communication surrounding your finances, and you may regain some clarity about your finances. In the middle of the month, again, there may be some conflict in the workplace, or perhaps you're not entirely happy with your work and you may be reconsidering what it is you want to do instead. You may be reconsidering other career options. On the 23rd, Venus enters your 2nd house of finances. This is amazing for your finances. You'll find that you have a huge upswing in your finances. This may coincide with you paying off debts, like I mentioned before, or pulling out your investments from the full moon in Sagittarius. However, I do see that perhaps because you've paid off these debts or you've paid off whatever loans you may have had, you're going to have a huge upswing in your finances, and whatever money you bring in, you get to save. And I just see from the 23rd onwards, you're really going to be saving a lot of money and you're really securing the bag. From the 28th to the 29th, you have a new moon in Gemini in your 3rd house. So you're going to find that you are very productive around this time. You're going to really look after your daily routine. You're going to be able to manage your work-life balance. You'll be able to work, but also go out and have a good time. So you'll be able to balance that out. You're also going to find that you're really getting your creative projects done, or you may have an increase in creativity. This is going to be an amazing time for networking and socializing. You may also plan to go on a short-term trip or an adventure around this time, but this new moon in your 3rd house is a very beautiful thing for you. At the end of the month, we have Neptune going retrograde in your 11th house of friendships and social connections. So you may be reconsidering the bonds that you have with people, and you may be considering whether or not these people have your best interests at heart, and whether or not you want to change up your social circle, and whether or not you want to remain friends with certain people. Capricorn, in the beginning of the month, you're going to find that you're really splurging on yourself. You may be spending a lot of money, so you may want to be a bit mindful of that. I see you perhaps going on a shopping spree. I also see something exciting happening in your romantic life. So you may be talking to someone romantically. You may find that your dating life is very exciting, spontaneous, and adventurous. And you'll find that communication with a dating partner or a romantic partner is going to be very fun. Or if that's not the case, you may find that your creative projects are moving along very nicely. Around this time, you're also going to be rethinking how you want to allocate your resources, and you're going to think how you want to manage your finances. You're just going to want to take a break for a bit and make sure that you're not overspending. From the 11th to the 12th, we have Venus conjunct Uranus in your 5th house of dating, relationships, and sex, and your creative projects. So you're going to find that you have some clarity around these subjects, and you may want to find more ways to have fun and go out and just enjoy your life. You may want to have more fun, go on more adventures, and you'll find that your romantic life is moving along very nicely. You'll have more clarity about that, or you may find that your creative projects are also moving along very nicely during this time. But overall, you're going to have more clarity about all of these subjects. But overall, you're going to find that your dating life is moving along very nicely around this time. Near the middle of the month, you're going to be working on your diet and exercise plans, and you're going to make sure that you are sticking more more rigidly to a routine that will help your health. So you're really going to be focused on health improvements and sticking to an exercise or a diet regime that is really going to make you feel better and make you physically healthier. From the middle to the end of the month, you have Venus and Mercury both entering your 6th house. So you're going to find that your relationship with your coworkers is very harmonious. And again, you're going to be working on your diet and exercise plans, but physically you are going to be feeling a lot better because of these changes that you've made. At the end of the month, you have something very exciting. You have a new moon in your 7th house of relationships on the 28th. So you may have a new beginning in your romantic life. You may be establishing a new connection. Some of you may even enter a new relationship, but overall your love life will be beautiful near the end of the month, and you may be establishing some sort of new connection or some sort of new bond with someone that you're interested in. Virgo, near the beginning of the month, you may find that there are some people who are throwing a wrench in your plans to go traveling. Perhaps you want to move abroad, or you want to travel somewhere to study, or just to go on a vacation. So there may be people who are causing some conflict in that area of your life. However, this is not going to deter you, because near the beginning to the middle of the month, you are going to be very adamant about your travel plans. You are going to stick rigidly perhaps to the idea of moving abroad to study or just to travel. Near the middle of the month, you're going to have a lot of clarity as to how you're going to get the money in order to make these travels, and you're going to have more clarity as to how you're going to make this happen, how you are going to end up studying abroad or traveling. Near the middle of the month, you have a full moon in your 4th house. So full moons are about letting go, and your 4th house is around your family, home living situation. So considering what I talked about before, this leads me to believe that you may be making plans to move elsewhere, or you may be moving somewhere else around this time. From the middle to the end of the month, you'll have Mercury and Venus in your 10th house of career. So you're going to find that you are able to attract what you want into your career. I see beautiful things happening in your career. You may even get a promotion, but overall I see you definitely getting the recognition that you deserve in your career. You may even be considering getting a new job, but again, beautiful things happening in your career. At the end of the month, you have a new moon in Gemini in your 11th house of social networking and friendship. So you may be establishing new connections with people. You'll find that you're being very social, you're being very extroverted. If you're trying to gain notoriety on social media, you may find that you're able to do so, but overall I see you networking, successfully networking. This may even help you in your career, since like I mentioned before, there are beautiful things happening in your career. So you may find that the connections that you establish with bosses or with coworkers is really going to help you advance in your career. And again, you'll be very social. You're going to be going out and having a good time. Aquarius, in the beginning of the month, you're going to be extremely productive. You're getting your shit done, and you're also going to be very creative as well. You may find that your creative endeavors really take off, or you may create something that will be very successful down the line. In the beginning of the month, many of you will also be dealing with your property or your investments or with real estate if that's something that you deal with. From the 4th onward, you're going to find that your home family living situation is drastically going to improve and become a lot more harmonious, and you're really going to figure that out. For some of you, this could also mean relocating, but overall you'll find that your relationship with your family is smoothing out, and it'll become a lot more harmonious and happy. Also, you may have very good news regarding a family member, or you may just have good news regarding your family, or you may find that you have very good news regarding your real estate or your investments as the months progress. Around the middle of the month, we have a full moon, which is going to affect your friendships and the connections that you've formed. So you may find that you're letting go of friendships, or you're letting go of certain groups and associations. Near the middle of the month, you also have Mercury entering your 5th house of dating, relationships, sex, and creativity. So again, you may be starting a new creative project, or you may find that your creative project is flowing very nicely. You may also be talking to someone new, or you may find that your dating life is very exciting. There will be a lot of romance in your life, or you may just be casually talking to someone new. But conversations in your dating life should flow very naturally and easily during this time. You'll be having a lot of fun in your dating life, but this may lead to you avoiding your finances or your investments, or just not looking at that because you want to focus on your dating life. Near the middle to the end of the month, you have Venus joining Mercury in your 5th house of dating, romance, and creativity. So again, your creative projects are doing very well. They're becoming very successful. They're flourishing. Or if that's not the case, you'll find that your dating life is very harmonious, very sweet, very beautiful. Basically, I see beautiful things in your dating life near the middle to the end of the month. Near the end of the month, you have a new moon in your 6th house, so you may step up your health routine. You're going to perhaps exercise more, or you may be improving your diet, but you may be creating some sort of new routine that will really benefit your health. And at the end of the month, you're really going to be focused on your finances. So perhaps you've been a bit delusional when it comes to money or handling your investments or your money, or perhaps you're not really saving and budgeting. So you're going to take a step back and you're going to reassess your finances, and you're going to take proper steps in order to improve your financial situation. In the beginning of the month, you're planning and you're contemplating what you want to do with your education and travel plans. You may be making new travel plans, or you may be making plans to study something new, or there may be some sort of new beginning in an education plan. You may also be making new plans to invest. In the beginning of the month, you're also going to have a lot of clarity. Your mental health is going to clear up and improve. So you may find that you have a lot of clarity when it comes to handling external matters. From the 11th to the 12th, you have Venus conjunct Uranus in your 12th house. So again, you're having a lot more mental clarity as to what you need to do in order to bring your manifestations to life. And you're having more mental clarity when it comes to what you need to do in order to create the life that you want. Near the middle of the month, you have a full moon in your 7th house of relationships. So you may be letting go of a relationship in your life. This doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but you may be cutting off someone from your life, or you may be letting go of a significant relationship that you have. On the 14th, you have Mercury moving into Gemini, your 1st house of self. So you'll find that you're very extroverted, communication will flow very easily, and you'll find that you're doing what you need to do in order to create the life that you want. Once again, you're also going to be attracting a lot of attention. You'll find that you are the center of attention, and the spotlight is really going to be on you this month. On the 23rd, you have Venus moving into your 1st house. It is moving into Gemini. I love seeing this because this means that you are going to be more attractive. You'll feel more beautiful. You'll feel more confident. You'll be able to easily manifest what you want, and you'll find that things are coming very easily into your life. You'll find that your manifestations are finally coming into your life. From the 28th to the 29th, you have a new moon in your 2nd house of finances. So you may find a new stream of income. You may find a new way to make money, but this is overall a very beautiful thing for your finances. You may find that you also have a new budget plan, or you may be saving. And I see that you'll have a huge upswing in your finances. And once again, you may find a new way to make money. You're attracting in financial abundance. And at the end of the month, you're rethinking what is realistic when it comes to your career. You may be taking a step back, and you may be reconsidering what you thought was realistic in your career. You may find that you had ambitious goals, but you'll really be rethinking your career and thinking about how you want to take it in a new direction. Libra, near the beginning of the month, you have Mars in your 7th house joining Jupiter. So you're aggressively going after someone in your love life. You may be putting all of your eggs into one basket, and you're really pursuing this one person, and you're putting everything aside in order to take this step in your love life and put this person at the forefront of your life and your mind. Near the beginning of the month, you'll also find that there's a lot of conversation regarding investments in your finances. So you'll really be handling your finances. You may be saving and budgeting, but there's a lot of conversation regarding money. You also have Mercury stationing direct in your 8th house of investments and finances, so there's going to be a lot more clarity when it comes to your investments and your money, and you're going to know what you have to do in order to make more money. You're going to have a lot more mental clarity there. You also have Venus conjunct Uranus in your 8th house, so you're going to have perhaps some news regarding your investments or your shared income or your shared finances. Perhaps you've been investing with someone, or you have a business partner, so you'll have a lot more clarity about that, and you may also find that there's a lot of money coming in from your investments. You may also find that you're finally able to travel, or you can go somewhere that you've always wanted to go because your investments are taking off and your money is very good right now. Near the middle of the month, you have a full moon in your house of career. So you may be ending a chapter in your career, or you may be letting go of a career project, or there may finally be an ending in a career project that you've been pursuing. But overall, I see some sort of chapter ending in your career. You also have Mercury entering your 9th house of education and foreign travel, and later Venus is going to enter that house as well. So I see beautiful things in regard to pursuing a higher education. Perhaps you may be studying something new. I see that this will bring a lot of harmony into your life, or you may be making new travel plans. Once again, you'll have a huge upswing in your finances. Your investments may be going very well, so this allows you to travel, but I see you making some sort of new travel plan, and you're planning that out for the summer. Also, this could be you planning a new career, since with the full moon, you may have let go of something in your career. Perhaps you're planning on pursuing a new career or a new career project. At the end of the month, you have a new moon in your 10th house of career. This is beautiful for your career. You may find that you're making new plans in your career, or you may find that you get a promotion, or you're really going to get the recognition that you finally deserve in your career. But overall, beautiful things in regard to your career, and there may be some sort of new career beginning. And at the end of the month, you may have new goals regarding your health and exercise routine. So you may find that you're following a new diet, or you may be doing something new in order to improve your physique. So you may have a new workout regime. Scorpio, in the beginning of the month, you may be taking active health measures. You may be very proactive when it comes to your health, diet, exercise regime, and you may also find that you're working very hard with other people. You'll also be able to communicate a lot more effectively and clearly with a romantic partner or with a friend after perhaps a period of things being difficult and communication being quite difficult. You're also going to be rethinking your home, family, living situation. So you may be rethinking who you want to live with, or you may be making plans to move out and relocate somewhere else. Near the middle of the month, you have Venus conjunct Uranus in your 7th house. So you're going to have a lot more clarity as to what your partner wants. You'll have a lot more insight as to how to connect with your romantic partner and how to improve your romantic relationship. Near the middle of the month, you have a full moon in your second house of finances. So you may be letting go of a stream of income. You may be ending an investment. You may be taking your profits from an investment. But I see that there may be an end when it comes to your finances, or perhaps the way that you spend money. At the end of the month, you have Venus entering your 8th house of finances and investments. This is very beautiful when it comes to making money. You may find that there is a huge influx of money coming your way. Your investments should be going very well around this time, but overall I see a huge upswing in your finances. At the end of the month, you have a new moon in your 9th house of foreign education and travel. So you may be making new plans to perhaps pursue a higher education or to study something new, and you may be making new travel plans for the summer. And at the end of the month, you have Neptune retrograde in your 5th house of dating and relationships. So Neptune retrograde kind of manifests as delusion or perhaps coming to sudden realization. So you may be realizing what's realistic in your relationship, whether or not you want to pursue something with someone that you're interested in, and whether or not realistically the two of you can enter a relationship or further your bond. Cancer, in the beginning of the month, you are going to be actively going after something in your career or in your professional life. So you may be pursuing a new career and being very aggressive when it comes to that. This should manifest very well. You'll be able to get that career that you're going for, or you may find that you're actively going after a career project and that will turn out very successful because you have Mars in your 10th house of career. So you'll be aggressively going after that. You'll be very ambitious, and as a result, you'll be able to manifest very fantastic results. And for the entire month, you're going to find that communication comes very easily to you. You'll be very extroverted, so you won't be as shy as perhaps you have been in the past. You'll be able to easily put yourself out there. You're also finding a way to work smarter rather than harder when it comes to your financial journey and your investments. So you may be partaking in a new investment project, or you may be doing something new with your finances, which is really going to help you have a huge upswing in your finances. Around the 11th to the 12th, you have Venus conjunct Uranus in your 11th house. So you'll find that you're able to network. Perhaps you're making new friends, but I see that networking is really going to help you when it comes to your career, and this is really going to benefit you. So you're finding new ways, once again, to put yourself out there, but this will really benefit you when it comes to social networking. On the 14th, you have a Sagittarius full moon in your 6th house. So your 6th house is all about your diet and health routine. Full moons are all about letting go. So you may be letting go of some unhealthy habits that you have. Perhaps you haven't been exercising regularly, or you haven't been looking after your diet. So I see that you're letting go of some unhealthy habits and you're going to be improving your health habits. You also have Mercury entering your 12th house, which will once again make you a lot more extroverted. You're really going to put yourself out there, and you'll find that you'll be able to handle your mental health a lot better, and you'll be able to dissolve some of the anxiety or depression that you've previously had. Near the middle of the month, you may also have a lack of clarity as to what you want to study in regard to your higher education or where you want to travel. At the end of the month, you have a new moon in your sign. So from the 28th to the 29th, you may be setting out to achieve a new self-identity. You're going to be very attractive. The spotlight is going to be on you, and you've been extroverted in the past, so this could lead to some recognition in regard to your career, or you may find that this networking that you've done in the past is really going to help you become successful. But overall, this new moon is so beautiful. I see that you're really going to come into yourself. You're turning into the highest version of yourself. You're obtaining power, and you're going to be very attractive, and once again, a lot of people are going to be paying attention of you. So all of that networking that you did previously will really benefit you. You may be very popular. Pisces, in the beginning of the month, you have both Mars and Jupiter in your 2nd house of finances. So you are aggressively going after money, and you're going to have a huge upswing in your finances because of this, because Mars brings aggression. So you're actively going after making more money, perhaps finding a new stream of income, and Jupiter brings good fortune in regard to this. So you'll find that Jupiter will help this, and as a result, you'll be able to have a huge upswing in your finances. And near the beginning of the month, you also have Mercury stationing direct in your 3rd house, and Mercury is a planet of communication. Your 3rd house is also a house of communication. So this is absolutely beautiful. You'll find that you're very extroverted. You're very easily able to communicate with people in your love life, in your career, in your social life. From the 11th to the 12th, you have Uranus conjoining Mercury in your 3rd house. So this could lead to a new creative outlet. You may find that your creative endeavors are flowing very nicely. They may lead to some success. I mean, even fame potentially if you're into social media. But I see that your creative projects will be flowing very nicely around this time. And once again, communication will be beautiful. Near the middle of the month, you have a full moon in your 10th house of career. So full moons are all about letting go. So this doesn't necessarily mean that you're leaving a job, although that could be the case. Perhaps you are planning on moving in a new direction in your career, or you may be ending a career project. There's going to be a huge emphasis on your home, family life, and living situation situation. So you may find that it is finally time for you to relocate. You may be rethinking your living situation, or if that's not the case, you'll find that there are beautiful matters in regard to your family. There will be very good news coming in regard to your family, and you may find that you're getting along very nicely with your family. And at the end of the month, you have a new moon in your 5th house of relationships, dating, sex, and creativity. So in regard to your creative projects, you may find that all of the work that you put into your creative projects is finally paying off, and you may gain a lot of recognition near the end of the month. Or if that's not the case, you may find that your dating life is moving along very beautifully. You'll find that your dating life is very fun, romantic, it's full of passion and playfulness, or you may end up talking to someone new in your dating life. You may meet someone new. At the end of the month, you are affected by Neptune retrograde, so you may be rethinking what is realistic in regard to your dreams and goals and what you can actually pursue and make happen.